question I've been forgetting to ask for a while is Josh Woods planning on coming back next season?
We haven't finalized anything on that. I mean, I would love to have Josh back.
Okay.
There's some academic things with him. He's such a good student. You know, is he going to graduate? If he graduates, then he has to get into grad school. He was on track to graduate in December. So, but we would love to have Josh back. There hasn't been anything definitive there, so I can't say yay or nay on that.
Okay. When your offense is sputtering like it is, how nice is it to have somebody like J.J. Molson who can kick 50-yard field goals?
Well, I don't think it matters if your offense is sputtering or not sputtering. When you have a kicker that can kick like J.J., it's a huge deal, and I think even more when I was in the National Football League, because points are so valuable, especially in this game. And when you have a kicker, you know, for us, and I talk to JJ every game. Where are we now? You know, you can get it if you get it to the 38-yard line. We got a shot. You know, I mean, depending on the weather, you get it some sort of the 35. You know, you got a shot. That's a 52-yard field goal. So when I didn't hesitate, and we knew where we were, I was just asking, "Where's the ball?" And the ball's on here. So it's a 50-yard field goal, and I feel confident that JJ can hit from that distance. He's shown it in our training sessions, but it's a positive. Both him and Flint, you know, our punter and our kicker have been really good for us so far early in the season.
When you look at Washington, how impressed were you with what Peterson's done there, especially getting them so good so quickly?
I mean, I've always thought they were a good team when I was in the league. You know, so I think Washington, the history that Washington has. You know, you can date back a long time when Don James was there, and they went 25 straight years with 8 wins or more in 25 straight bowl games. So I think the history of Washington football in the Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12 has always been really, really good. And I think Chris is one of the best coaches out there, so it doesn't surprise me at all that the success they're having.
For him to get to the playoff in his third year, only third year on the job, how impressive is that?
I think anything Chris has done has been impressive. I think if you sleep on what he did at Boise, then you're not giving him credit for being a great coach. Chris is a great football coach, one of the best football coaches in college football.
Is the approach with the running backs in this game to kind of go with the hot hand like last game?
No, we go with who practices the best. So when we talk about hot hand, it's not Deshaun goes into a game and says, hey, I hope someone breaks off a long run. I want to keep him in there. But as I said before we played Colorado, is that for those 2 weeks through our improvement bye week and through the week of preparation for Colorado, Josh was by far had trained the best. So that's why he got the bulk of the work during that week. So it's not, hey, I don't do anything during the week, and then when I get my one carry, I broke it for 10 yards, I'm going to stay in the game. It's who has consistently been doing what he needs to do. So, you know, that's credit to Josh, because he didn't play much very much against Fresno. But instead of sulking and hanging his head, he went out and went to work. And in those last 2 weeks, he rose above those guys. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. We still got a couple more days of training this week, and we'll adjust it on the run. The good thing is we have competition at that position. When you have competition, I think it brings out the best in everybody. So.
When you talk about having a good practice, what does that mean? Like, what kind of things are you looking for?
Well, just consistency. You know, are you hitting the holes right? What's your read? What are your proper steps? When we had blitz pickup, did you know where you were going? Did you see the weak corner coming when no, you didn't pick him up? I mean, did you make mistakes? I mean, that's an easy thing. It's just like being successful in a game. You can tell if a guy's successful in a game. You can tell if a guy's successful in a training session.
Is there any update on Pavico or
Nope.
Jalen?
No, we'll just see how it goes. Again, it doesn't matter. It's Wednesday, so we're
Right.
not playing until Saturday. So we'll see what they're able to do, and can they do more than they did earlier in the week. And then I always defer to our training staff, and then they make the determination if, you know, can they go with their injury. If they can go with their injury, then we assess what they did from a training standpoint, and are they prepared, you know, to be able to go into a game and help us contribute to getting a victory. And if they are, then they play, and if they're not, then they won't play. So, but the first and foremost, it goes from the athletic training staff. They're the ones who say who's up, who's down.
What were your thoughts on how Elijah Wade and Laney played in the first?
It was good to get those guys. You know, obviously Elijah did some really good things early for us, and then had a couple nagging injuries while we were kind of getting through the beginning of the season. So a chance to get him back out in the field. You know, he played 12 snaps, but I know myself and the rest of the coaches are excited about where he is. And I thought getting Langy back added some depth. You know, we got some athleticism there, especially on third down. We can get him in some situations because he's really good in pass coverage and his ability to blitz. So getting him back it's added some depth to both positions. So because, you know, with inside linebacker and outside linebacker, we've lost a couple guys. So to get two guys back, I think was helpful to us. So.
Dave was talking about kind of losing energy in the second half. How much of that do you think is kind of mental fatigue or physical fatigue?
I think it's mental fatigue. So we got to be able to play, you know, consistently, and that's what this team has to do. We do it in spurts, but we have to be able to put it together for an entire game, and we haven't done that yet.